Manikanta sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Good evening, participants. So today's session is the fifth criteria, student support and progression. So I'll take privilege to introduce our session speaker, Dr. Muhammad Asif. He's a HOD, Triple Department, Vardhaman College of Engineering. He has vast experience of 20 years and he has published more than 20 international conferences and journals. He is Dean Student Affairs and prestigious event. He has conducted AICT sponsored 2-week national level faculty development program. So that is for physical education trainers all over India. It becomes very grand success. And with this small brief introduction about our session speaker, now I hand out session to Dr. Asif sir. Asif sir, please hand out the session, sir. Please take out the session, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Let me share my screen, then I'll start, madam. So hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Good evening, all. So I am Dr. Asif. So I am here to present a session on student support and progression. It's nothing but taken as criteria 5 under NAAC. So as a part of AQR filing, we are doing this workshop. So what are the key indicators we will be having in filing this AQR or may it be NAAC? So what are the precautions or measures that we need to take, or what is the data that we need to gather to file this AQAR? So all those things we are going to see. So from the past 4 days you have come across criteria 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 if I am not wrong. So today we'll be dealing with criteria number 5. It's all about student support and progression. So you can see on the screen. So I have given it as 100 marks and 140 marks. So this 100 marks goes with the autonomous institutes, and this 140 marks goes with the affiliated or constituent colleges. So may it be for 100 or 140. So what all the documents that are to be put up, that are to be recorded as per the requirement of AQAR or may it be NAAC. So we should take utmost precaution and measures to put up all the sufficient, to file up all the sufficient documents as asked in the criteria. So if you see this NAAC, if you see this AQAR criteria number 5, so as I said, it is divided for 100 and 140 marks. So total key indicators in the student support and progression are divided into 4 categories, 4 key indicators. One is nothing but your student support. It is given for 30 marks for autonomous college and 50 marks for the affiliated college. Second key indicator is student progression. It is for 30 and 30, both are same for autonomous as well as affiliated colleges. The third key indicator is student participation and activities. It is taken for 30 for autonomous and 50 for affiliated colleges. And last is alumni engagement, 10 each for both autonomous as well as affiliated colleges. So what are the marks that were allocated for autonomous and affiliated colleges? So they are categorized into these 4 key indicators: student support, student progression, student participation as well as alumni engagement. So when it comes to the micro level of student support system on these key indicators. So what is that data that is asked by this AQAR? That we'll see all those things in detail one by one. So to start with, first key indicator is nothing but student support. It is given for 30 marks. It is valid for 30 marks in NAAC. So NAAC is going to take up all the 5 years of data, but whereas this AQR we are filling it academically, every year we need to upload the data. So at the end of 5 years they'll summarize all these things and it will be evaluated for 30 marks. So first key indicator in 5.1, that is student support, is it's nothing but simply a QNM, quantitative metric. So number of students benefited by scholarship and free ships provided by the government during the year. So as I said, AQR is submitted every year. So we are going to submit the data for every year on a regular basis. So what is it actually? So what is this indicator? What is this key indicator is asking about? It's nothing but saying like students who are getting benefit by the scholarships and free ships provided by the government. So once we are asked to submit this data, so what is that we do from our end? So we rush to the admin department because the scholarships is all about the data that is present with the admin department, admissions department. So we rush to the department, we ask for the data, we take up the data and we simply put up in the given template that is asked by AQAR and maybe NAAC. So we feel like our work is done. So it's not that, because see, when we say about the scholarships provided by the government, we have many scholarships which we are unaware of the things, because admission department will be having the record of the scholarships that they'll be getting directly from the government. But there will be some students in the institution wherein which they'll be getting the scholarships from the governments from various schemes. Various schemes will be provided by the governments. So that those documents will not be recorded with the administration office, admission office. So we need to go with the micro level, because as we want to claim some marks, we want to gain the benefit, we want to create the marks. So definitely we should work at the micro level. So definitely we should go to every student and we should gather the data. So again, it comes back to that here the department, the role of the department comes into picture. Again, the department, the role of the class teacher or the class in charge, whoever it may be, he's going to play some role. So we should be in touch with all the students. We should encourage with all the students if they are having any scholarship that is provided by the government, because every state is having various schemes that are given by the government. So we need to work out on that. So what are the schemes or benefits that are given by the government? We need to take up. We need to take up. We need to provide all the evidences. We should collect all the evidences from the students, in fact, and we should summarize along with the scholarships that are provided by the government, which are recorded in the admission office. It's not that only the admission office which is maintaining the records are sufficient enough, because lot many schemes are coming up from the state governments as well as central governments. So they may be funding total fee, they may be funding partially. So what are the benefits that they are getting from the government schemes? So that those things can be recorded, those things can be uploaded here as a part of this metric 5.1.1. So here the role of class teacher as or maybe the mentor plays a crucial role, important role in gathering the data or recording the data from the students in the form of these government scholarships. So what all the data you get? So because see, when we say about these scholarships, the data will be bulk data, huge amount of data will be there, because lot many students will be getting scholarships. So we should have a proper order of arranging all this data, because we cannot, because when you go for this NAAC updating also, uploading of the data in the NAAC also, because we should segregate as per the academic year. So okay, anyhow we are not talking about NAAC, we are talking about AQAR. Anyhow we are going to put up with respect to the academic annual year only, academic year only. So we will not have that problem. But when the same thing when it goes to the NAAC, we need to have some categorization of the data as per the academic years. We should have some summary sheet. What is the total number of students who got the scholarship? You should have a summary sheet of all, and simply don't put up the data by writing all the details of the students on a white paper. No attestation, no attestation by the head of the institution, or no office seal. So those type of data will get invalid. So see to that. Those data, whatever you are claiming as a part of scholarship, maybe in the form, from the governments, you please summarize, take the signature of the head of the institution, ask him to attest that information, put a college seal, then only you upload the data. So what all the data that is asked in the data template? First of all, we are going to fill up the data, and we are going to upload the document, 11 documents in the form of a link. So you put up all this data in your website and bring a link, upload that link in this template that is asked. So that is about the first metric. So wherein which students who are going to get benefit out of the scholarships from the government schemes. Similar type of thing is nothing but your second metric, that is 5.1.2. It's all about the benefits that a student is going to get from the institution as well as non-government agencies. So there are many private agencies, NGOs, who are sponsoring the students. If you get into the micro level of this information, most of us will not be aware of the scholarships or the benefits that a student is getting from NGOs. So again, as I said for the previous metric, here the role or the intention of the work, the amount of work that is taken care by the mentor or it may be class teacher is more here. You should work at the micro level. So what are the freebies or free schemes that is getting, that benefit that is student is getting from non-government or agencies, that has to be properly recorded. All the data relevant to that funding or support that is getting from these NGOs or some private organizations, all those things to be recorded, all those things to be collected in a proper way, because most of the time we simply throw a message to the students stating them to submit the data. It will not work, because students will not show much interest, or they'll feel like what is that we are going to get out of it. So they'll not, because if they say that they are getting some benefit out of from this NGOs, means again this teacher might ask to submit the records or proofs of all those things. So it shows, so they will not show much interest to submit this data. So it is that how a teacher and a student, the rapport or that mentoring mechanism is happening in the college, that makes a difference. So you should have a proper approach with the student and gather the information about all these benefits that a student is getting from these private organizations. And very most important thing is institutions also. There are many institutions in our country where students will be getting benefited from the institution. Partial amount of the tuition fee may be given as support by the institution, or sometimes full support. And not only this tuition fee, there will be some cases like some students might be getting a benefit in the form of exemption for their examination fee. Some students might be getting exemption in some other activities, some membership kind of things for some IEEE kind of thing, or some transport kind of thing. What are the benefits that a student can get or is getting from institution, most of the time these things will not get recorded, because simply when a student wants some exemption, he might reach to the head of a institution head or department head, he might put up a letter that might go to the next level, but we that student will get benefited, but those informations will not record properly. When we say a student is getting benefit in the form of some scholarships or free ships, we take it only in the case of admission fee or tuition fee, whatever that you are calling it. So, but there are many ways a student might get benefited from the institution also, may it be in the form of examination, as I said, or in other ways, whatever the benefit that institution is giving to a student, all those things has to be recorded, and you should write in a proper way. What is the name of the student, in which year he is studying, or which year he has passed out from the institution, what is the benefit that he has got, and record that proof of that benefit that he has got and attest it. Then only you can upload that. Then only you can claim the data. Simply writing on a paper and uploading the data will not benefit you. So it has to be properly recorded with all the sufficient proofs. Or if you want to have a transparency in the mechanism, still you can show some audited data, also account statements also from your college account. If you are transferring anything from your account to the students, that also can also be shown as a proof. That could be a pakka proof to claim it, because if something is getting transferred from the college account, from college office account to student account, so that's a full proof to claim this parametric. So that is how we are going to claim the things or gathering the information. But thing is, like, we should work at micro level. We should work at micro. That is mandatory thing, because getting the information or data from the students is not that easy, because the community of students is very large. So their number count is very big. So getting the information from students is a bit tough task, but still we need to put up some efforts to claim some marks out of this, because students will get benefited, but only thing is that will not have sufficient or proper information to claim that. Simply they'll say I got benefited from so and so organization, but they'll not submit the proofs. So if without proofs, if you try to claim, that will not be given as a point to you. So when a student is saying he's having something benefited out of these private organizations or institution, see to that he submit proper documents or evidences for that claim which he is making. So it's about this second metric, about the scholarships and free ships. So what are the data template that is given by the AQAR that we need to fill according to the data which are gathered from the students. Coming to the next metric, it's all about the capacity development and skill enhancement activities that are organized for the improving student capabilities. So this AQAR has categorized. Earlier we used to have this capacity development and skill enhancement activities as 8 categories. So they have made them, they have clubbed some of few of the things, and they have come out with 4 parameters, and they have divided them like soft skills, language and communication skills, life skills, and awareness of trends in technology. So when we are asked to put up this data, they'll be asking some options. So what are the development activities you are taking up with your organization? So we can claim them all of the above. Like, so 4 options, 5 options are given here: all of the above, any 3 of the above, any 2 of the above, any 1 of the above, and none of the above. So what are the number of things that you are taking up at your institution? So those, based upon those things, you can tick mark the options. If you are taking up all the things, then fine, you can go with all the above. So it depends what is that you are doing, but what all the options you are claiming. For that, you see that all the 4 categories that are given by this AQAR or NAAC, you take up some activities under all these things. May it be soft skills, may it be language communication skills, may it be life skills, or awareness of technology in trends in technology. So without proof, simply saying like all of the above things are done at the institution, that will not serve the purpose. So as per the data template that is given, you can see at the bottom. So name of the capacity development and skill enhancement program, in which year you are implemented, how many number of students have enrolled, name of the agencies involved or the consultants involved, with contact details. So he's asking about all these things. How many students are enrolled? Which year you are implemented? what is the nature or what is the activity that you have taken up. So so as I said, this metric is divided into 4 categories: soft skills, language communication skills, life skills, and awareness of trends in technology. You can use these soft skills. When we say about soft skills, we have many types of soft skills. I have quoted some examples like problem solving, or teamwork activities, or events, communication skill programs, or leadership programs. All these comes under soft skills. So you can conduct such events in your college. At the department level also is okay, but invite all the students of the college to take part in your activity that is taken at the department level. And what all that you are doing, may it be soft skill, may it be language communication or life skill or awareness, see to that these documents are filed. It's much of it's not a big thing to document the things that you are taking up during the event. So you please see that all these 5 evidences are properly documented. So you can go with soft skills of 4 types which I have claimed here: language communication skills like body language skill, communication skill, speaking activities or reading activities. All these comes under language and communication skill. Some life skills like yoga, physical fitness. If you are doing, you claim. Unnecessarily don't claim the things which you are not doing at your campus. Because if you are not doing and still you are trying to claim, if you are writing all the above and you have done only 1 or 2 things, and if you try to put up the information, it's nothing, unnecessarily you will be caught. Unnecessarily will be caught. See, once we fail in satisfying the organizations or accreditation bodies, so it gives a wrong impression on the institution. So see to that you come out with the activity that are asked. See, all these activities that are listed, they are very much important as a part of their student development. For the overall development of the student, these activities play a very important role. So you see to that all these activities happen at your campus. So I know most of the campus will take up such type of activities. See to that once activities are happening, those are properly recorded, then only you can get credit out of these activities. So that's what all about this parameter metric. So next metric is the number of students benefited from guidance or coaching for competitive examinations and career counseling offered by the institution during the year. So whichever the year we are doing. So what are the career guidance or coachings for competitive examinations? So we have a lot many competitive examinations happening. So here what we do actually here is students, when they are in their final year, most of the time they take part in these competitive examinations. They take part in the competitive examinations, and when they are in the final year only, we start doing our some programs related to their career counseling. So those students will take what all the counseling activities or training that we are doing to overcome this to crack this competitive examination. They'll take part in all these activities. But so when it comes to activities, it's for sure that we should have proper evidences, as I said in the previous metric also. Again, we should have a proper circular brochure kind of thing. How many students have taken part in the event, attendance of the students, feedback of the event, report, who is the trainer whom you have brought into the activity, contact details of the trainer, from which organization he has come up to give this guidance or coaching when it comes to competitive examinations and our career counseling. So all those things are mandatorily required to be documented. So that once we have a practice of doing for one activity, for sure we'll do for all those things. But when we don't have that practice, we'll miss out everything. You are seeing from metric to metric. Every metric is asking about the things to be documented properly. Circular, brochure, attendance of the student, or details of the trainer, or the feedback form, I made the report. All these things are to be properly documented. Now what happens here is, how many students are getting benefit out of your training which you are doing for these students? So when the student is, as long as he is in college, he'll be in our hold, he'll be in our touch. So for sure hook or crook will try to get the information. But once they come to the final year, they start appearing for these competitive examinations, or they plan for this thing. They appear your trainings, all the data, those data will be available with you. But after getting these trainings or after attending all these programs, you might get success in some of the competitive examinations, or he may plan for his higher studies or anything, whatever it may be, for as per the plan he might have had for himself. So getting the data is very important. How many students after taking the training or guidance from you got placed? How many got in some government organization, some how many students have cracked these competitive examinations. So gathering this data is very much important, because once the student is out of the college, so it becomes very tough to gather the information. So it speaks how good your alumni network is with. So how good relation you are maintaining with the student, that matters here, because when we ask a student, he should have that feel to submit the data asked by the teachers. So it depends how strong your alumni network you are maintaining at the institution, that matters. So are you maintaining the proper contact of the students? So you should have that network building among your institute and this alumni student. Then only all these things can happen. So you should calculate, you should work out on all these things. How many, what are the programs you have organized for the students? How many have participated? How many have succeeded in cracking all these things? So all those things are to be properly documented. Then only you can get some marks. And what all the things you are doing for the students in come to the guiding or coaching for competitive exam or career counseling, all those things are to be properly documented and uploaded in the website, and a link should be given in the template given below. So that's what is all about the students getting benefit from the guidance or coaching for competitive examinations. So next metric is about the mechanism for redressal of student grievances, including sexual harassment and ragging. So when it comes, it's nothing but purely a qualitative metric. So what is that we are doing in this? See, every institution will have saying like we are having some committee, or we are having a cell, we are having some guidelines, we are having some rules. We frame a committee with some good number of faculty involved in that, some external people involved in that, some students involved in all these committees. So we'll have everything on a paper. We'll talk about a student grievance committees, student grievance cell, women's cell, anti-ragging cell, anti-ragging committee. So like that, we have many offices, we have cells, or we have committees. All these things will be on the paper. So functioning of these cells or committees matters here. Not simply putting up on a paper will give the impression of that a cell is working or committee is working. So having a committee is a very good sign, but bringing it in an active mode, making it work properly is a very important thing. That's the point of concern. So creating awareness and implementation of the policy is zero tolerance. See, when you are saying that, we say our campus is a ragging free campus, but we should promote it properly. You should say this, when you are saying campus is ragging free, you put up some hoardings or boards or some pamphlets or posters in the campus. What are the punishments that a student will get if he involves in ragging? You give some guidance, you showcase the information, you present what are the what is the exact location of your cell, how a student should approach to your cell, what sort of punishments a student will get if he involves in ragging. All those things has to be some awareness kind of thing, and implementation of policy should happen with zero tolerance. We should not spare anyone if anyone is involved in sexual harassment or maybe ragging or anything. So creating awareness and implementation of policy, because students should not feel like, if I go to a particular cell about an issue, I may get some justice or not, or my purpose will be served or not. Such type of insecurity or inferiority complex should not happen with the students. You should have when you are saying you're having a committee or a body, means its functionality should also happen accordingly. So for that, we should have some proper awareness, and proper awareness should be created among the students, and implementation also should happen properly. Now, like third point is mechanism for submission of online or offline student grievances. So when should create, it's not like there will be some issues like where a student cannot come to the cell. He might feel shy, he might be afraid to put up his grievance to the committee or the person who is taking care of that cell or activity. So in that case, we should create a provision of putting up the grievances of the student, may it be male or female, in both the forms, online form as well as offline form, because every student will not be bold enough to bring out his problem to the committee. So we should create such a flexible atmosphere, proper mechanism, wherein which a student can put up his grievances both in online as well as offline mode. Next one is timely redressal of grievances through appropriate committees. So every student will feel like approaching a committee or a cell with a problem only if it is addressed timely. So if you put up a problem, if you take up the problem after 2-3 months of time, again if you postpone it, so nothing, it will not, that impression about that cell or committee will be gone. When you are forming a committee, see that it takes up the problems properly, address it, try to solve the problem. There we have many other problem. Maybe it's the problem with the hostel facilities, maybe it's the problem with the sports facilities or the transport, with the stationery, or teacher not behaving properly with other student, a boy student, maybe girl student, student issues, student teacher issues. So a student has many problems. So we should create awareness among the students that these are the students. So committees are grievances cells we are having. So wherein which you can walk in openly at any point of time, or if you are feeling shy, if you are not bold enough to address your problem in offline mode, chalo, you can come out in online mode. You can put up to the committee. So once you put up, you showcase, like when a student comes like with a problem, you take it seriously. Maybe a small problem, but address it in a limited time, give proper response to him, then see that how best that cell or committee works, how that if you maintain some transparency, then the satisfaction level of the student also increase. So once a student comes out with a grievance, you record it, what is the grievance he has come out with, then what is the solution you have given, so what is that you have done during this process, your committee discussions, all those things, talking to the student or sorting out, taking out his problem and discussing any type of problem, may it be ragging or harassment or anything. So record all the minutes of the student grievances, or what are the meetings you are having in your committees. So minutes of the meeting should happen. Grievances record should be there. What sort of grievances you are getting in all aspects. In general grievances or harassment grievances or ragging, you have to make a record of all these things, document properly, address the problem with your committee members, try to sort out the problem, have a minutes of meeting for all those grievances and the prevention what are you are taking. So then upload the information as per the data template that is asked. So it is very important. It is very important because most of the colleges what they do is, most of us what we do is here is we will have committees, but functionality of these committees will be a question mark in the mind of the students. So see to that it should not happen, because quantitative metrics committees will check up in during DVB validation, but when it comes to qualitative, they'll come to the organization during this NAAC inspection and they'll check all these things. What is the best measures? What are the measures you are taking to avoid such type of problems that are being faced by the students? So we should be careful about all these committees and their functionalities. So that's about the first key indicator 5.1, student support. Next comes here is next key indicator is 5.2, that is student progression. It is also evaluated for 30 marks in the NAAC. So it's nothing but the micrometric of this, nothing but number of outgoing students who got placed during the year. So who are the students who got placed? So placement matters here. So because most of the time placements happen when the students are there in final year, but before they leave, very few students might get a offer letter, so that we can collect it from the students. But the main important thing is most of the students, after going out of the campus or the college only, they'll be getting their employment letter or offer letter. So now gathering that offer letter, collecting that offer letter from the student is very, very, very important. So that's not that easy task. So what is that mechanism that you are adopting, implementing at your college, that matters. So what is that procedures, policies that you have kept on to collect that information, that matters. Or how strong is your alumni network, that matters. Because a student should feel like submitting all the details about his employment, may it be employment or highest, whatever it may be, student should feel like submitting. So this, as per this metric, AQAR is asking about the name of the student placed with his contact details, because most of the time many colleges feel like we can get the marks very easily by false proofing, but see to that you should not go with any false proofing kind of thing. So should have a proper document, because we'll be have false proofing in the sense you call a student, you'll come to know from some other XYZ friends of his friends saying like he's working in some organization. will write his name and will try to claim it without proofs. So it's nothing but again kind of, he might be working in that organization, but again if you don't have a proof, it looks like a false data you are trying to claim. So see to that when you are claiming a student is working in some organization, you claim only when you have some proper document, because see he's asking about the details, contact details of the student. What is the program he has completed? He has done his BTech in CSE or EC or EEE mechanical civil. So you should put up that name of the employer with contact details. So for sure the student is going to join some organization to work in. So we should submit the details of the employer, because if you claim some student is working in so and so organization, if he is not really working based upon his friend's data, if you try to put up here, if that student, because that agency organization might contact that employer also to check in is the student really working or not. If they get any doubt, they'll cross check. So see that you submit, you upload the data which is exactly relevant, which is wherein which you have proper proofs. Only you try to, if you if you know that a student is working somewhere, you try to contact him and try to get the information from him, and as well as pay package at the time of appointment. So as per the offer letter, in his offer letter, employment letter, that organization will be giving the details of the package, how much he is going to be placed, he will be offered or he will be paid at the time of joining, not after 2 years or 3 years, at the time of joining appointment, what is his pay package. Accordingly, you put up the amount here. So when it comes to this one, so whatever the data template that is asked, you need to upload the data template. Self-attached list of student placed. So you are going to summarize the details of the students. It's nothing but like name of the student, program completed, employer details, as well as pay package. You put up on a letterhead. You only simply don't type on a white paper and don't upload it. It will not be considered. It's not a valid data. You simply see that you type on you put up all the data on a letterhead, get it attested by head of the institution, give a proper seal on that, then only you upload in the portal, and you can upload in your website, and you can give a link in the NAAC portal. So then only that purpose will be served. It has to be attested by the head of the institution. Without that, it will not be considered. So it's very important. You should take this measure properly. So you see that you have a proper contact with the student, because once a student goes out of the campus, it's very tough to grab the data. You see that your alumni network, alumni cell works effectively or properly to get such type of information. So it's about these students who got placed. So next comes outgoing student progression to higher education during the year. So it is one more tough job that we come across when compared to your employment. So at least employment we can trace out the student with the friends who are in touch with us, or his or her friends. We can come in touch with the students and we can get the data. But the tough job here goes with the students who are going for the higher education. If they are in India, at least we can try to get. But students who go abroad, they'll come to us, they'll take letter of recommendation, they'll ask us to submit the recommendations, everything they'll do, but they'll fail to be in contact once they are out of the country. So they'll change their mobile number, they'll not come in contact. So it becomes very tough to a faculty to get the data about the higher education, maybe from UG to PG or PG to PhD or PG to MPhil, anything, any higher education that is going for. If you have without a proof, we cannot claim. So we should submit the data as per the data template that is asked here. You can see name of the student enrolled for higher education. What is that program he is going? Is he going for MS or MTech or MBA? What it may be. Name of the student enrolled. So program which he has completed, name of the institution he has joined, name of the program he has admitted. In which program he has admitted, name of the institution which he has joined. So he has completed program, BTech, CSE or IT or civil mechanical, anything, and name of the student. So this part is okay, but we should have the proper proofing of all those things. Again, I am saying we should have his admission card or ID card of the student. Anything, a proof stating like this student has taken admission in our institution for his higher studies. One proof minimum is to be produced here. Maybe his letter that is given by the organization, or maybe his identity card. Some proof has to be collected to claim that student higher education. Without that, again, that becomes a false proof. So we cannot claim those students on a oral basis, like we can write a name and something like that. Again, what are the list of students and number of students whom you are claiming here? Again, you should put up on a letterhead, call a letterhead, attached it by the principal, head of the institution, attach all those proofs, put up all this in the website and give a link, then only it becomes a valid data. Without all these proofs and all these things, we cannot claim. So see that, because see, as I said, getting the data from the student is one of the toughest tasks that we come across. So students, as long as they're in the college, it's fine. But after going out of the college, only the actual problem starts. So see that you have some proper rapport with the students, see that your alumni network works properly to get this data. So next metric is about the students qualifying in state, national, international level examinations during the year. So there are a lot many examinations that the students will take part. So few of the examinations are given by AQAR or NAAC body. You can see here like JAM, NET, SET, GRF, GATE, GMAT, CAT, GRE, TOEFL, civil service, government, any examination. So here most of the time what happens here is students, when they are in their final year, they start appearing for all these examinations. That is fine. Now what we do is that when we are asked to submit the data regarding this metric, we simply ask the students whoever are qualified in some in these examinations, it may be a state or national international examinations. So those students whoever get qualified, they'll submit their hall ticket, or they might submit their rank card also. So this first table, whatever you are asking, that will be okay. For 5.2.3.1 is asking only about the number of students who are qualified. Qualified will get the proof. But second point, if you see here in the below, we will be having a similar table where we will be asking about number of students who have appeared. Now how we are going to bring the proof of all these things? Appeared students. That we will not concentrate actually, because when we ask students to submit the data, most of the time the students, if you get a rank card, because after writing the examination also, after 2 months or 3 months or 4 months of time, he'll get that result, or after 1 month, whatever time, he'll be having the rank card. So at most he can submit that rank card. But if you want to submit the data when it comes to the students who have appeared, the proof for this is nothing but his hall ticket. So wherein which we failed to produce that hall ticket, because students, if he is not qualified, he will not show interest to submit or send that data, because these students will be going out of the college, so they may not show interest in submitting the data about, because he has appeared but he didn't crack the examination, he didn't qualify. So definitely number of students who are appeared should be more than the number of students who are qualified. But we will fail to get this data, appeared student data, because we want the students who have appeared but who didn't qualified. But those data, that data is also important here. But so that's the way where we fail. So better what we do, what I suggest from my end is, if they are in final year, you start tracking the students who have appeared for who are planning to write these examinations, or who have filled the fees to write these examinations. You start collecting the information from the students. Whoever is planning to go for these examinations, may it be civils or GRE, TOEFL, definitely they'll be having some hall ticket when they are in the final year only. The results they might get results after 4th year, something like that. But whoever is going to appear for this examination, you start collecting all those evidences of their hall tickets. Once you get the evidence of all those hall tickets, it will be easy to track the students who are qualified, because for sure from these students only the qualified student will come out. The number is going to be lesser than this. See, if you take the students who appeared, the number of students who appeared will be very much big when compared to the students who are qualified. If suppose 100 students are appeared, hardly 10% to 15% students might crack these examinations. So that number will be easy to can record it easily. But appeared student data is a big data, so we cannot collect all those students who have appeared by calling them, and we cannot expect all those students will be carrying or preserving their hall tickets. It's better.
Asif sir.
Madam.
Sir, sorry for the inconvenience. Actually, sir, one participant has raised a hand.
Madam.
I think some query from the participants.
So can I take it at the end, madam, or shall I?
Yes,
Because
sir,
I
as per your wish.
Because I am not seeing the people who are raising their hand.
Yeah,
Because I
Chagamani
kept in the
K.
presentation. Yeah, I'll address that problem. Once my presentation is done, I'll take up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, madam. So students who have appeared for the examination is a bit tough task to gather the information. Better when they are in the final year only, you start tracing the students who are going to attempt all these examinations. You try to collect all those hall tickets. Collecting of hall ticket itself could be a proof about the student who are going to appear for these examinations. So that's about the next this metric. next key indicator is student participation and activities. And so it's a quantitative metric. So number of awards, medals for outstanding performance in sports or cultural activities at inter-institute, inter-university, state, national, international events. So award for a team should be counted as one. It is clearly mentioned here. So because most of the time what happens, because it's a point of concern actually what I say, because see when we are asked to submit the data, because most of the time what happens here is if you take our Indian scenario, we are more focused about only few sports and games. We have a habit of talking mostly about it, maybe it be cricket or maybe it be volleyball, football. Well, there are only few games we talk about. And when we ask students to go and participate in cultural activities or sports and games, something like happening at other institutes or at national level or state level, we think of only about these such few events only. But there will be some hidden heroes where we don't focus them, because if we take some sports and games for events like chess, caroms, only 1 or 2 students will take part. If you take some wrestling kind of thing, only 1 or 2 students take part. But we don't because focus about these sports and games will be less in our scenario. So these students will not be in limelight. So we don't focus on those sports and games. Very few institutes will organize such type of games, sport like chess, caroms or wrestling kind of thing. So where participation of students will be less, students will be showing interest towards these type of events will be less. So but these students will be very much focused in their activity. These are the students who will be cracking awards, but where we will fail to take the achievements of those students in documenting all those things. So again, as I said in the beginning, mentors or maybe class teacher again plays a crucial role in collecting the data. So we should address the students about all the things in a proper way. See that all those things are taken from the students with all the proofs. See that what are the awards they are getting. See, we cannot claim what all that we are doing at the institute level. Intra is not counted here. Only AQAR and maybe NAAC is counting only for inter-university or state or national international events when it comes to cultural or maybe sports. So if a team is participating in cricket or volleyball, football, if they are winning a award or a prize at state level, international, we cannot claim all the 11 players, including extra players, 15 members. We cannot claim as 15 people got awards. It's only if it is a team event, it is counted as only one. You see, team event, it's counted as only one. 15 members in the team will not be counted as 15 members, 15 awards. It's only one award. So that should be again properly mentioned. If you try to say claim like all 15 got awards, so those things will not be counted. So what all the things you are going to claim here, again, as I said, data should be submitted as per the data template that is asked, as well as you try to collect all the evidences of the letters or the certificates, what all the proofs that a student can submit about their achievement. You try to take up all those things, put in your website, again provide the link in the portal. So name of the award or medal, it doesn't matter. Is it a team event or individual event? Doesn't matter, because even though it's a team event, it is counted as one event only. If it's individual also, it counted as one only. So put up the details of the students. What is the level of the activity, state level or international, national level, name of the event, month and year. So this is the data template that is asked by the AQAR. You put up with all the proofs. That's fine. Next one is presence of active student council and representation of student in academic and administrative bodies or committees of the institution. So it's nothing but again a qualitative metric. So when you will be asked to give a write-up with a maximum of 200 words. So what we do is that we take mostly what happens here is people will frame about this qualitative metric with a beautiful English, taking the help of some English professors. we frame in a beautiful manner, stating we are doing this, we are doing that. But to what extent this representation of student is happening in all these bodies? We form committees like IQAC, anti-rank committee, student grievance cells, sports, hostel committee, library committee. Wherever wherever the involvement of students should happen, we involve. Seriously, we involve. We put up. He is a student from so and so year. He is a student from so and so year. He is an alumni student. We'll put up all the details of the students. But how best these students are being involved in decision making? Are the students seriously involved in decision making of some, or are the students are seriously called for the meetings and to have some discussions for the betterment of the student? So what level we are involving the students in all these committees, that matters. So whenever a committee is there with all such students involvement, again students should be called for the meetings. Again, minutes of the meeting should be recorded. So again, document proofing is very much essential here. Simply having the committees will not serve the purpose, because when we say about qualitative metrics, these are the things that NAAC, when it comes to college, they are going to see it in a serious way. Quantitative parameters they will go through with respect to the proofs we are submitting in the online mode only, but qualitative parameters are the one which they are going to see when they visit your institution. If you fail to satisfy the committee with all these things which you have claimed, then the reputation of the institution will get damaged. See that when you are having, because they are not big things that can be done. There are small things where involvement of students should happen, and those students also should actually take part in all the meetings wherever or whenever that is required. So proofing of record all the minutes of the meeting should happen properly. Then you can upload in the website. So next is number of sports and cultural events or competitions organized by the institution. So every institution, as we are aware, we might have some events at institution level. Anything you can claim here, because you will be having many things. You will be having some department association level activities, but organized for at college level. You will be having some IEEE kind of chapters. They will be organizing some events at the college level. Your college itself will be having some technical fest. Your college will be having some sports meet. Your college will be having some cultural fest. What all that you are doing, you can claim all those things here. The involvement of all the college students is happening. What are the things that you are claiming that you are doing at your department level is also not an issue. You can claim, but thing is, what all that you are organizing, you record them properly with the proofs that are going to support them. When you are doing an event, again, as I said at the beginning, you should have a circular about the event. It has to be attested by the concerned authority. It has to be circulated. You should have a brochure. Again, the details of the students who are taking part in the event, how many number of events you have done in that particular activity. Because you see, when I say about when we are doing a sports meet, let's suppose we are doing a sports meet in which you are organizing cricket, volleyball, football, all these things, you cannot claim. So we have conducted some 8 number of sports and games, some 8 events. You cannot calculate. It's only one event. In one event, you are doing these activities. You cannot say football is one event, cricket is one event. No, your sports meet 2023 or 2022 is one event. That's it. From which date to which date? So what are the sub events you are doing in that particular sub? What are the sports and games you are organizing under that event? You cannot claim. Number of events matters. Number of sports and games happening in that event will not be counted individually. So see that individual events you can take up as a count, but see that what all that you are doing, you have again proper proofs. As I said, photographs are going to play a very important role. NAAC is very much serious about this geotag photograph, because most of the people will put up the proofs which are photographs of the events which were taken long back, and they'll write something there. So to avoid such type of issues, so NAAC has come out with this geotag photograph. See that you do everything in a proper way, because for the overall development of the student, not only education plays a role, sports and extracurricular activities as well as co-curricular activities also play important role. Even though our focus is more towards education, they are also a part of education only. We should feel like we should support such type of things. Only for the paper, for the purpose of putting up on a paper, we should not do all these things. On a serious note, should conduct all these things, record them, upload them. It's nothing but again, ultimately the student, for the welfare of the students only. Not only to get some mark in some accreditation agency, you should not do such type of things. Organize them properly for the overall benefit of the student only. So it is how it has to be taken into account. So next metric is about alumni engagement. The marks that are allotted for this alumni engagement is 10 in your NAAC. So when we say about this alumni, so most of the time what happens is that every college will have alumni. We'll have a small tab that is created in our website. We'll ask the students to register, or we'll do some. We'll have every year we'll have an alumni meet. We'll ask some alumni to come to our college. We'll ask them to take up some sessions, some guidance, or something we'll ask the students to do. But the alumni, you will be getting marks only when this alumni association is registered. You should register your alumni. Alumni registration number should be there. Until unless a registration number is sanctioned to that alumni cell, this you cannot claim these marks. You can see that in the metric itself, he has said alumni association and its chapters registered and functional. So you have to register it in the registration office. Then only this metric you can claim. Simply conducting some alumni meet, saying like we are having these many things, we are doing alumni meet every year, twice or once. Students are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing this, whatever it may be. Those will not be counted until unless it's a registered body and it should be a functioning body. So see that when you are talking, when you are having, when you are going to write something about the alumni association and its chapter, see that it is first registered and it should be a functional body. Simply again registering and leaving just like that will not make any sense. Your registered means see that some activity should happen in that alumni association. You should have the registration certificate. What is the data that this AQAR or NAAC asks? They'll ask for alumni registration certificate. They'll ask for what is the constitution of your alumni committee, who are the members involved in this alumni committee. They should show that committee member details. You'll be doing lot many events. Alumni involvement of alumni people in some activities. They'll be a part of your board of studies. They'll be will be having some alumni meets, or they might be coming to your institution to take up some sessions for their existing students. What all that alumni is supporting your organization or institute, all those things will be recorded. It should be recorded properly. Photos with geotag, date and time should be properly mentioned. So what are the donations they are doing for the as a support to the institution, that also has to be recorded properly. The PAN number of the student or the alumni who is giving donation, that also should be with the organization. PAN number as well as Aadhaar number. Then only you can claim. You cannot say simply alumni has given some 5-10,000 rupees. You cannot write on a voucher on a paper and you cannot claim it. There should be some document evidence. Proper evidence should be there. Then only you can claim. So until unless your alumni association is registered and it's not a functioning association, you cannot claim any mark from this one. So next one is the financial contribution from this alumni. So what are the contributions that this alumni is doing? So based upon the amount of contribution that they are doing, you will be getting the marks. As I said, whoever the person is giving a donation to the organization or financial assistance or support kind of thing that is giving to the organization, his name should be properly taken up. His PAN card details, in which year he has contributed, how much quantum of contribution, how much amount he has contributed, and audited statement with the signature of auditor or chartered accountant. Because when he is contributing, that has to go to your account. You cannot take some cash kind of thing. You cannot write on a paper and give a certificate kind of thing. It should have a proper proofing. It should audited statement from signed by the auditor. It has that amount, whatever the student is contributing. See that don't take any cash kind of thing. Ask the student to transfer that amount to the institutional account. So then it will be a proof. That reflection in his PAN card, you can see in which year, quantum of contribution, everything can be seen, everything can be traced if the transaction happens in a proper manner. Simply claiming like this much amount we have gathered or we got from the alumni student in the form of cash will not work. It's kind of false proofing or trying to cheat the agencies, so it's going to fail. So better when you are claiming something, see that proper document or audited statement where a student transferring some amount into the account should be showcased in a proper way. So that is how you can claim the marks. May it be 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs, whatever it may be. But see that some proof should be there. Then only it can happen. So that's all about this financial contribution. So I think this is the last metric in my presentation. I think I am done with my presentation. So I'll take up the question that was asked. Where is that question? Oh, I'm raising my hand. Yes, I'm done with my question. If I'm done with my session.
Yes, sir.
So if
Tangamani,
any,
Tangamani, I think.
madam, you can
participate,
ask,
please.
madam. If you have any question, you can ask, madam. Okay, if there are no questions, we'll conclude.
Do we conclude, Asif, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yes, okay. I, Saida Fatima Farheen, Assistant Professor of English in Vardhaman Engineering College. Deem it a
Ma'am,
privilege.
excuse me. Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
I think 3 more participants, they have raised their hand, ma'am. It seems they have some queries.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking them to.
No, you
they
have
can
to
ask,
unmute
madam.
them, madam. The technical team has to look into it. They are not unmuted.
Ma'am, they can themselves, they can unmute and talk, ma'am. I think, let me call Bharti, ma'am. Can you unmute yourself?
As ma'am.
Yeah,
Good
now-
evening, ma'am.
Yes, yeah, please, ma'am, please.
Madam, please.
Actually, when the NAAC team visited our college, I am Bharti from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering.
Madam.
So actually, in any of the criteria, actually in 6th criteria, we have a quantitative metric in which we can, that is, give the data about the funding that is being given to the faculty for attending a conference or workshop. But I think none of the metric implies on the funding for the traveling allowance that is being given to the student. Am I right, sir?
Madam.
Asif, sir.
Madam, we
Yeah,
can
this
take up
is-
this question.
Yeah, yes, sir, please. Sir, shall I take up the question?
Yeah, you take a minute. 7th to 6th grade. Madam is
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
for 6th grade.
yeah. Madam query is the 6.3.2 is regarding the financial support to faculty for attending conferences or for publication fee and all, or
Yeah.
to take membership, professional memberships. But there is no the point like the financial support to students. Regarding that, she is
Madam.
asking.
Madam, you can claim it here, madam. As I said in 5.1.2, you can see that point where a thing is like some free ship kind of thing. It is shown here. As I said at the beginning, you can claim it here because the support from the institution doesn't mean that it's only tuition support. What all the support you are giving, that can be claimed here.
Because as for 5.1.2 is considered, it insists on the scholarship. But
Scholarships and free
NAAC
ships,
team
madam.
asked us that they wanted the document pertaining to the traveling allowance that has been given to the students. Okay, so to go abroad for presenting a conference or for the workshop, etc.
Oh, they are asking for all document evidences.
Are maintaining, actually, as such the departments are maintaining, but we have managed all the files to be put in a separate room, so wherein we
Okay.
concentrate only on these metrics, different criteria under sub metrics. When they asked, we are not able to I want to just share this because if any of the college, they are going
Yes.
for the NAAC, so they have to be that is prior to the NAAC visit, they have to make all these arrangements. So even they are asking what are the fundings that is being provided to the students as a traveling allowance to go abroad. Okay, that was the thing that has been asked
Yeah,
by the NAAC.
usually we don't document it actually, but it has to be maintained.
Asif, sir.
Madam.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can we claim that point anywhere like QLM?
No, madam, in specifically they didn't mention anywhere. But
Okay.
as institution is giving some support, what all the support that institution does may it be in the form of examination fees that can be claimed here in 5.1.2. It's a kind of free ship only, madam. Because there is no, they in specifically nowhere they have mentioned about these type of supports in detail.
Because the free ship that is being provided by the non-governmental agency, that was the thing that has been given in the Q&A.
Yeah, yes, madam. Not only non-government, institution also.
Oh, fine.
Both provided by institution as well as government, non-government, NGO.
Bharti ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if the amount is provided by any NGO, that can claim under 6.4.3 also, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. That's not a issue, because even that's not a problem. But this was the query that has been raised. That is, they wanted to view the file, which we have the proof.
Madam, one thing I can say here, because when any NGO organization gives any funding, they will not say in that how that student can use that fund. They'll simply say like this much amount of fund is given as a support for his education. That student he might use in any way, may it be for his examination fee or may it be for his tuition fee. These NGOs are simply sanctioning the amount, they are leaving it to that point. So is that student truly using for his tuition fee? We don't know. That student is getting that amount in his account. That's enough. That's it happening. That student, how he is using, it's up to him. So, but actually, the same thing I am saying.
From the NGOs, not from the NGOs. They asked how the student, that the institution is offering, or how they are funding the students who are going abroad for attending a conference or for any kind of internship. Okay, so that was a document they asked. It was that. But as far these metrics are considered, the NAAC metrics are considered, we don't have a separate provision for that.
Nowhere it is mentioned, madam. You say what you said is right. Nowhere they have mentioned about claiming of the support that is given by the institution for workshops or travel grant, anything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Dr. Krishna Gopal, sir.
Yeah. Yes, madam.
Yes, please.
Dr. Krishna from Bombay. This is a request to the organizers that the presentations given by all the presenters, faculty members, should also be made available to the participants at the end of the entire conference that has been taken.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. We'll send you mail, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The participant Tangamani. So please unmute and talk.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, regarding higher education, sir, can we consider the academic year for enrollment or graduated year, sir, for the students?
No. In that year, that existing batch only you consider, sir. Okay. You see, orally what happens if you go for the 5 years of assessment, they may come here and there, but overall the total count will be the same.
Okay.
You divide as per the batch only, sir.
Okay, sir. So graduated year only you have to consider. If
yeah, graduated year only consider, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
So if the student will be joined 2 years later also after graduation for the gap, so you have to show it in the graduated year only.
That's what I am saying. When you are going for this AQAR, you will not have the data. But when you go for the NAAC, you will have the data.
Okay.
Placements and higher studies, it's a continuous process, sir. You can update it till the last point, last minute.
Okay, sir.
That's not an issue, sir. Because on the day of visit of the committee also, a student might get a placement.
Okay.
So you can claim in that batch, sir. So it's a continuous process, admissions, placements as well as higher studies.
Okay, sir.
That's why these committees mostly made by NAAC or NBA. During the visit also, they'll ask us to submit updated data on the day of visit.
Yes, sir.
Still, they'll give you a provision to update the data if it is anything that can be claimed. But thing is like we should have the proper proof.
Tangamani, sir, are you clear, sir?
Hi, yes, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And one more participant, Dr. V. Ajita ma'am. Please, ma'am, raise your query.
Sir, is there any difference between extracurricular and co-curricular activities?
Madam, when it comes to co-curricular activities, see, extracurricular and co-curricular activities are the activities which don't happen in the classroom. What are the things that happen in a classroom, we say it as curricular activities or curriculum, whatever we are teaching them. What all that happens outside the classroom, we claim, we talk them as co-curricular as well as extracurricular. So what are the co-curricular we are saying? These co-curricular activities are the activities, they directly or indirectly support your curriculum again. Because we conduct some workshop kind of thing or some hackathon kind of thing. All these things will be calling them as co-curricular activities. But they are not totally away from your regular curriculum. They directly or indirectly support your curriculum. So those activities we call them as co-curricular. When it comes to this sports kind of thing or some culture kind of thing, we take them as extracurricular things, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Dr. Saroha Khan, participant, please. Dr. Saroha Khan.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good
Yes,
evening.
please, ma'am, please.
Ma'am, this is a simple request. We need the PPTs or the materials. Actually,
Definitely, ma'am. We'll share, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. And this
Anything
is
else, ma'am?
an excellent explanations, ma'am. No,
Yeah,
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
more queries from the participants, please? Asif sir, shall we conclude, sir?
Yes, madam. We can conclude, madam.
Yeah, Fatima ma'am, please take out the session, ma'am, for conclusion.
Okay, ma'am. Good evening, dear all. I am Fatima Farheen, Assistant Professor of English in Vardhaman College of Engineering. I deem it a privilege to thank Dr. M.D. Asif sir on behalf of Vardhaman College of Engineering for having presented this session to our audience. Thank you, sir, for providing our audience with inputs on key indicators of student support for affiliated and autonomous colleges, maintaining documents of the students with respect to the benefits drawn from the institution and the procedure of recording the required documents for acclamation, data filling according to the norms of AQAR and claiming under different options and their implementation suitably, documents required for filing along with evidences of different activities and events organized, keeping an account of co-curricular and extracurricular activities and maintaining a proper record as per NAAC AQAR benchmarks. Different activities taken up for student development, career guidance, counseling offered by the institution to crack competitive examinations by the students. Thank you for promulgating our participants about different metrics of student support, the need for having different committees and its functioning in accordance, timely redressal of student grievance and maintaining a record of the same for updating, relevant information on student progression to be uploaded in NAAC portal, incorporating student data who have gone for pursuing higher education and administer the information as per NAAC AQAR norms. I appreciate your efforts in making this presentation a successful one. Thank you. I bid you all adieu.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome.